Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. This is Channel 69 News, now sponsored by Sportarium News on online radio, which will be streaming tonight. And this is also going to be live on YouTube. I am Daniels Jack, and this is your top stories. England and Wales qualify for the next round of the Euro 2020, but Scotland are on the way home, I'm afraid. England men's cricket whitewash Sri Lanka in a T20 series. And Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix. But first of all, to football. So on Tuesday night, England scraped past Czech Republic with a 1-0 win. Sterling got the winner again. It's his second goal in the competition, which is great for the player who wasn't in form before coming into these European Championships, but he seems to have found his goal-scoring boots again. Croatia sends Scotland packing with a 3-1 win in the final group stages. So unfortunately, they go home. So England through. Let's have a look at the group stages, and that's how it shows for everyone. So Group A, Italy topped their group very comfortably with 3 wins with 9 points. Wales, as we said, qualified for the next round, and they qualified in second place with 4 points, and Switzerland qualified as a second best and fourth. Group B, Belgium with 9 points, 3 wins out of 3, very comfortable for them as well. And Denmark going to second place with 3 points, with only 1 win, but the best result with goal difference. Group C saw Netherlands win 3 out of 3 as well with 9 points, and Austria finished second with 6 points with 2 wins. And in Group E, you have Sweden, who qualify with 2 wins and a draw with 7 points. Spain with 2 draws and a win with 5 points. Bit surprised with them. Group D, I missed, unfortunately, sorry about that. England, obviously, with 2 wins and a draw with 7 points, qualified first. And Croatia qualified in second place with 4 points. And the Czech Republic went through as one of the third best qualifiers with 4 points. As I've said, Group E, Sweden through with 7 points, Spain with 5 in second. Slovakia go home with only 3 points with goal difference of 2. Group F, so France. Just very quickly touch on that now. What an amazing last round of games between France and Portugal and Germany and Hungary. Everyone was winning it at one point. Everyone was second. It was topsy-turvy. Unbelievable results, 2-2 in both the games, and Hungary unfortunately going home. France topped the group with 5 points. Germany finished in second with 4 points, and Portugal third as one of the best qualifiers with 4 points. And that means England will take on the old enemy on Tuesday night, playing Germany. At one point, we could have been playing Hungary. We could have been playing France. It was just so topsy-turvy, that group. It was excellent to watch. Both games finishing 2-2, but, amazing. Saturday, so Wales crash out with the knockout stage, just comfortably beaten by Denmark 4-0. Very poor performance from Wales. I expected a lot better from them, but Denmark are through and Wales are going home. On Saturday night, Italy struggled on the night against Austria. They couldn't land a blow in the 90 minutes, but they went through an extra time 2-1. And last night saw Portugal crash out of the tournament as well. 1-0 to Belgium. Belgium looked very solid. Very, very comfortable winners in the end. So I expect Belgium to do very, very well in this tournament now. Kevin De Bruyne is the only downside of the result. He went off at half-time, just after half-time, sorry. Looked like suspected injury that he picked up before the tournament. So we'll see how he gets on and what his recovery time will be, whether he takes part in the series again. But they've still got some quality players. Hazard with the winner, his brother, Fogland Hazard. It's a great strike. Keeper probably should have done better, but 1-0 win. Netherlands crashed out to the tournament on home soil. That was a bit of a disappointing result for them. The Czech Republic beating them 2-0 with one of the Premier League stars, Shank, scoring in the 80th minute to add to Hull's goal in the 68th minute. So bit surprising result, that one, the Czech Republic, but they are a very good team and people forget this. So yeah, that's the football. Hopefully on Tuesday night, England will do the business against Germany, but I wouldn't put it past Germany to knock England out, as we haven't beat them in a knockout stage since 1966. So that's going to be interesting. Now we'll go out to the field to our correspondent, Trey the Shank, who is going to talk us through what's going on in the golf world in the last week.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I'm Billy the Shank Train. Thank you, Daniels, for that fantastic introduction. World of golf this weekend. We'll go back 7 days first. We're going to talk about last week's US Open. And it was a fantastic last day, as it always is in that last day major. We went into the round with 3 joint leaders. We had Mackenzie Hughes of Canada, we had Russell Henley of America, and we had Louis Oosthuizen of South Africa. Close to being trailed by a lot of players. My tip for the actual day, Rory McIlroy. My big tip for the day, I should say, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, amongst others, and Jon Rahm. And it was Jon Rahm who came out on top. Now, the man has balls of steel to do what he did. He had to birdie 17 and 18 to get a lead. He did. He holed an 18-foot putt on the last green to get to 6 under par. And that gave him a 4-under round of 67 on the day, which was a fantastic, fantastic performance under pressure, doing it when you need to do it. Louis Oosthuizen shot a par round, and he had to eagle the last. He was dropping shots on the way back after looking quite comfortable for a while, looking very relaxed in himself, the way he was playing. When the pressure came on, and he faltered, and Jon Rahm stepped in. Congratulations to Jon Rahm. He dedicated his win to the great late Spanish legend Severiano Ballesteros, who was the forerunner to all the great Spanish golfers and major winners we've seen since. Jose Maria Olazabal, Sergio Garcia, and now Jon Rahm, all cavalier golfers. They play the game in such a fantastic, entertaining way, and it's great to watch when they're on top song. Jon Rahm's a very fiery character. If he's not playing well, you know, he throws clubs, he'll curse occasionally. But he came along through the US collegiate system in America. Married to an American lady, lives in America, as most top pros do. And he's been fantastic since he turned pro. Only 26. Nickname of Rambo. John Rahm Rodriguez is his full name. And I think he's going to win more majors. I think he's going to be a fantastic asset to the European Ryder Cup team in September. And he won, as I said, the US Open. Congratulations to him. We're going to talk now about the Women's PGA Championship, which is a major in America at the moment. And we're going to also go back 7 days, because the winner of the Maya Classic, who I tipped, Nelly Korda, she's joint leader. This is a 2-horse race. Nelly Korda and Lizette Salas, both Americans, both total opposites in the way they play the game. Nelly's very quick, very powerful, hits the ball quite a long way. Lizette is not quick, she's very slow, she takes her time, she works out her shot, and she's not so powerful, doesn't hit it a long way. Although she has the larger build, you'd think she'd hit it a long way, but she doesn't. But she's a fantastic target golf player. She plays approach shots and pitch shots to very, very, very close distances to the hole, and her putting is great too. So it's going to be between these two. Just in case I do falter, we have 3 players just 5 shots off the lead. I don't think it's going to matter. We have Molinaro of Italy, Tavatanakit of Thailand, and Boucher of France. And now Tavatanakit shot a 7 under round yesterday, so if she shot something like that again today, that might get her in to some sort of contention. And Molinaro shot a 6 under round yesterday. But Lizette shot 5 under, Nelly shot 4 under. And if they play anything like that again, they're not going to be caught. Who do I think will win out of the 2? The lady in form is Nelly Korda. She's won last week very easily, very handily. And she'd be my tip out of the 2 if push came to shove and I had to pick. Nelly would be my pick. We're going to go now on to the American PGA Tour. They're playing at the TPC River Highlands in Connecticut, the Travellers Championship. We have a very close tournament here. Two-way tie at the top. Kramer Hickok. That wasn't me hiccuping. That's his name, Kramer Hickok. He's joined with Bubba Watson, the lefty, long hitting lefty. I don't want to describe him anymore without being derogatory. But actually, Bubba's a great player to watch. He plays shots a lot of players wouldn't try. Behind them, we've got an Australian pair of Cameron Smith and Jason Day with a welcome return to form. Jason was leading after 2 rounds. He shot an even par round yesterday, but he's only shot off the lead. And also with him is Russell Henley, who, of course, played very well in the Open last week, only to falter in the last round. That experience will do the world of good. If he's ever in that situation again, he will probably do better than what he did last time. The pressure of being leading in the last pair of an Open or Major is a phenomenal one. If you haven't done it before, Russell's done it now, and I'm sure he'll learn from it. So he's just a shot off the lead. And then we've got 2 shots off the lead, Garnett and Harris English, who finished 3rd in the end in the US Open. He had a great last round. Played very well. And Matt Jones of Australia, and he's a shot off further back alongside Bryson DeChambeau and a few others. Dustin Johnson's also there. So plenty of players in contention here. Brian Harmon, Abraham Ansah, Mark Leishman's only 4 shots, Patrick Cantley, and the postman Ian Poulter. Now he needs to get some points because he needs to get into the Ryder Cup team. That seems to be Ian's reason for living. Is the Ryder Cup. His raison d'etre, as they say in the Dordogne. Poulter is a fantastic Ryder Cup player, and we'll need him in America. The course will suit him too. It's a links type course at Whistling Straits in Wisconsin, and I think it will suit him. It's a very British type course, and so if he does qualify, all good. If not, will he get a captain's pick from Podrick Harrington? Seems likely to me, although there are plenty of other players, Ryder Cup players, who aren't qualifying at the moment. So who do I think will win that? I'm going to go for... Now, it's a very tough one. It's so many players close in, but only 2 shots off the lead. 3 shots off the lead, I'm sorry, is Bryson DeChambeau. But an outsider, I'm going to go for Brian Harmon. Doesn't hit it very far. He's a left-hander, but he's a fantastic putter. Brian Harmon's won on the US Tour before, so he's my outside bet. You're obviously going to look at the big names, your Johnsons, your Leishmans, your Cantleys, your DeChambeau, obviously, and Watson and Jason Day. But just an outside tip each way, Brian Harmon, just purely for his putting. And that'll be my tip for that, for the Travellers. Of course, there's open spots available here. If you haven't qualified and they've finished high enough off the leaderboard, they might get an exemption for the Open through this tournament. So, well worth going to. We're going to go over to the European Tour now. They're playing in Munich at the BMW International. I enjoyed watching this yesterday. There was an exhibition, a pure exhibition of fantastic golf. Another young European superstar to be. A lad who's following in John Rahm's footsteps by playing the US collegiate. He played the US collegiate system as an amateur. He then was low amateur at the 2019 Masters, and then he was low amateur in the 2019 US Open. In fact, he had the lowest ever amateur score in the US Open as an amateur. He was 12. He finished 12th, which is an astonishing thing for an amateur to do. He immediately turned pro and thus forfeited his exemption as the US Amateur Champion for the British Open. So he's never ever played the British Open. We're talking about the Norwegian Victor Hovland, 23-year-old, first Norwegian superstar of golf. This man's going to be something special, honestly. He's already won twice on the PGA Tour. Not won on the European Tour yet, but the way he played yesterday, he's very close to winning the European Tour. He shot a fantastic round yesterday, 64, to take him clear. He's 3 shots clear of the man he played with yesterday, Jorge Campillo of Spain. A further shot back is Darren Fickhart, who's also there or thereabouts, and tied 4th, 2 shots further back. The leader after the first round, the Irishman, Niall Carney, he shot a par on yesterday. And Bernd Wiesberger, who's after points to get himself back in the Ryder Cup automatic places. We've never had an Austrian in the Ryder Cup before, I don't believe. But there's some old players as well who's playing really well in this tournament. Martin Keimer's played well. He got himself up as high as 12 under yesterday, but then faltered at the end. A name who's played in the one Ryder Cup, we haven't seen in contention much since then, Victor Dubuisson. Magical short game, magical round the greens. He played in the Ryder Cup in Glen Eagles, 2010, 2011, was it? The European victory. And so, who do I see winning this? I don't think anyone's going to catch Brit Fogland. He was superb yesterday. Tee to green. Putting was superb. Great round of golf. Plays with a smile on his face. He's what we want to see in golf. A very entertaining golfer. And a special talent who's going to win majors. He's going to be a European superstar. He's 14th in the world already. I mean, he's only been a professional 2 years. Remember, we lost a lot of that time due to COVID. So, Brit Fogland, one for the future, one for the present. Can he do anything in majors this year? But he's only got the Open to go. We don't know what he's like in links golf. I suspect he's not going to do very well in the Open. But the BMW International Open is his for the taking. I believe he'll do that. And I believe he'll win today. We're going to talk about schedules now for next week. Next week we have the Rocket Mortgage Classic in America. We have the Women's Volunteers of America Classic in the old Lone Star state of Texas. We have the Women's Big Green Egg Dutch Open, which hasn't been played since 2015. Most of the all of the world's top players will be in America, though, for the Volunteers of America Classic. So it's a very limited field at the Holland one. And in Ireland, we go to Mount Juliet for the Irish Open, where we welcome back some players who've been playing in the PGA. Tommy Fleetwood, who's been out of form. Rory McIlroy, who's played himself into a bit of form, actually. Played very well at the US Open. And Shane Lowry, the 2019 and current Open champion, holder of the Claret Jug. Shane Lowry. They'll be playing in the US and the Irish Open next week at Mount Juliet. And then we've got the week after that, we have the Scottish Open. And the week after that, we have the British Open, which is the last major of the year. And that'll be at Royal St George's down there in Kent. Lots to look forward to in golf. And as I say, we had a great weekend last weekend with the US Open, John Rahm winning that. Which is all the more astonishing as John Rahm actually changed all his equipment sponsor back in January. Clubs, balls, the whole full Monty, he's changed from TaylorMade to Callaway. Players sometimes don't do so well. I mean, it took Rory ages and ages and ages. In fact, has he ever recovered from changing his equipment back 2015 time? Not really. He hasn't been the same place since. He's never won a major since. And so to do what John Rahm did last weekend was astonishing. So congratulations to him. Hopefully his next lead follower in the US European that's played the US Collegiate Tour, Brit Fogland, can do what he did yesterday in Munich and carry on his fantastic start to his professional career. And looks like we're going to have a big one-on-one in the LPGA tournament in America between Salas and Nelly Korda. So lots to look forward to. Just remember, a slice ain't always nice. If you're going to shank all the time, you're going to lose your ball because your eyesight's going to go. The ball's going to go all over the shop. So stop shanking. It's not good for you. I've been Billy the Shank Tray, talking of shanking. I'm going to hand you back now to Daniels in the studio. Good day to all of you.
Thanks for that, Billy. That's some great information and great update on the golf. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Ryder Cup as well. Can't wait for that to start. Now to cricket. So England took on Sri Lanka in a free series T20 match played over Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. The first match was held at the Sophia Gardens. Sri Lanka won the toss and decided to bat. England held them to 129 for 7, not a great score in T20, with Danish Shank with 50 from 44 balls. Not a bad little innings there. And Pereira with 30 from 26. Rashford and Sam Curran both took 2 wickets apiece. In reply, Roy at the top of the order, 36 from 22. And Butler saw England home with an amazing innings of 68 not out from 55 balls. England won with 17 balls to spare in the first game. So going into the second game, obviously 1-0 up. Second match was held at the Sophia Gardens again on the Thursday. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat again. England held them to a very low score of 111 for 7. Wood and Rashford both with 2 wickets apiece. England wobbled a little bit in reply. There was a bit of rain, so went to Duckworth Lewis and Livingston 29 not out. So England home to take a 2-0 advantage going into the final game, which was played at the Rose Bowl. Sri Lanka won the toss but decided to bowl this time, so a bit of a change of tactic to see if they'd get a better result or if their luck will change. But however, I watched most of this game, and Milan at the top of the order with Burstow were fantastic. 100 partnership. David Milan, 76 from 48 balls before he was out later on in the innings. Burstow was the first one to go, 51 from 43. He was yoked by a beautiful delivery and bowled, but they were both excellent. Chumare started with the ball. I mean, for us to get up to 180 for 6, and he bowled 4 overs, 4 for 17 was fantastic. Our batting lineup wobbled a little bit at the end, which was not what we wanted to see, because we looked like we were going to hit over 200 runs at one point. But credit to Sri Lanka for keeping us down to 180. In the reply, England blew Sri Lanka away, 91. Sri Lanka were all out for, with Willie and Curran starring with the ball. Willie took 3 wickets and Sam Curran with 2, the pick of the bowlers, and they whitewashed Sri Lanka 3-0 in the series. So very, very impressive performance by England going into Tuesday, which will be the first of the series for the 50-50 over game. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I will be bringing the news on that next weekend. Now let's bring in, for the first time to Channel 69 News of the Fox, Mittoo with some boxing update.
Hello everybody, of the Fox, Mittoo here. I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. First and foremost, I'd just like to say rest in peace to Brian Longden, who passed away yesterday. Very good fighter he was, and also rest in peace to Kurt Lang, who passed away a few weeks ago. He was a very good fighter, you know. In my eyes, one of the best fighters to never win a world title. Now that said, I just wanted to say a few words about a fight last week. A few of the fights last week. I mean, one of the fights I saw was very, very good was the fight Bektikar Mkuzier v Gabriel Rosado. What a fight that was! I mean, I thought Mkuzier was like an ex martial art man who was a very, very, very tough man. I think he had 6 wins and 5 of them he'd had stopped. I mean, he put up a good performance. I mean, in the first round, he put Rosado down with a awesome body shot. You know, it was absolutely fantastic. I thought he was going to win, to be quite honest, because the pressure he was putting on was so awesome. It was unbelievable. I mean, he was pressurizing Gabriel Rosado. He's one hell of a fighter, he is, and pressurizing him. put him down with a body shot in the first round, and in the third or fourth round, Gabriel threw an overhand right, and oh my word, it took him straight out. What a shot it was! What a shot! So that was a good fight. Like, that was absolutely an awesome fight. And then secondly, the other fight I wanted to talk about was Jamal Charlo vs Juan Marcius Montal. I mean, that was a good fight. I mean, it was sort of one-sided, you know, it was one-sided in the sense of Jamal done all the work, but Juan Marcius Montal was such a tough, durable guy. He just kept coming forward. He was such a tough guy, so he just kept coming until the final round. But he lost on points. But he was just so tough. I mean, you could see he weren't going to win, but, you know, it was one of them where he just kept coming, but he was getting outscored. But he was so durable. It was amazing. It was a cracking fight, and he lost on points. Third fight I wanted to talk about was Naoya Inoue v Michael Dismunaris. That again, cracking fight, good, very, very good fight. You know, in my opinion, Inoue, he's such a fighter. He weren't going to lose. I think fourth round, he hit the feather to a body and stopped him. Was it fourth round or? I think it was fourth round or seventh round. Hit him with a cracking body shot, and that was over. But the fella put up a very good performance, but that Inoue is something special. You know, to me, he'll take some beating. And then the other fight, the final fight I want to talk about before I go, I ain't got much time, is the Anderson Silva v Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, in my opinion, maybe Chavez should hang the gloves up now. You know, he's had a good career. You know, no point in fighting now because he's not in the form he was. But he was fighting the next, you know, Anderson Silva being the next. Well, not the next. I'm not too sure. Does he still fight in the MMA? Not too sure. But he was having his second professional fight. He'd won one and he'd lost one. In my opinion, if it was the Julio Cesar Chavez from back in the day, in his form, I don't think Anderson Silva would have had a chance. But to me, Julio Cesar Chavez has seen better days now, and maybe he should hang his gloves up because he's not in the form he used to be. So maybe he should call it a day now and leave it at that. I mean, he's had a great career, and why would you want to carry on, in my opinion, now when you're not the fighter you were? And he'll know himself that he's not the fighter he is anymore. So maybe you should call it a day. Anyway, guys, hope you all have a great day and have a great weekend wherever you all are. Bye now.
That was Arv, the Fox Mittoo, with a great boxing update there. Thanks, Arv. There's some great information about some fighters I never heard of. So, yeah, great stuff. Now on to F1. So Max Verstappen wins again. So that's 2 wins in a row. He won the Austria Grand Prix. The Red Bull boss hailed it as one of a masterclass of a drive. Hamilton couldn't land a blow, who finished second. So Max Verstappen now takes an 18-point lead at the top of the table. But don't ever rule out Hamilton because, you know, he's 4-time champion, 7-time champion, whatever it is. He will never give up. So, yeah, so that's the F1 news for you. Now we'll go on to athletics with Dave.
Thanks, Daniels, and welcome to the sports news. Former Olympic champion Mo Farah will consider his future after failing to qualify for this year's Olympic Games. Farah is in good shape, will not be bringing his medal-laden career to an end, his coach believes. Farah failed to qualify for the Tokyo Games when he missed the 10,000 metre selection time to the British Championships at Manchester on Friday. Afterwards, he suggests he'd have to consider his future on the track. However, there is no way Farah is going to end his career running around the track, his coach Gary Loft said. Farah, who won 5,000 and 10,000 gold at London 2012 and Rio 2016, fell a full 19 seconds outside the limit qualifying mark for the 10,000 metre event in Friday's race. And afterwards said, I don't know what to think of what's next. If I can't compete with the best, why bother? I've had an amazing career. Thinking about it tonight is a bit shocking, and I don't really know what to say. I'm lucky enough to have won so many medals, he concluded. It is, however, always sad when a top athlete's career seems to end. Although having suffered with an ankle injury, it was always unlikely he would be back to his best for these trials. He has had an outstanding career. Time, of course, will tell what Farah's next move will be, but I'm sure we'll all wish him all the best for the next chapter in his career. Dana Asher-Smith booked her 100-metre spot for the Tokyo Games, but was denied a new British record with her run, initially timed at 10.71 seconds, but it was revised to 10.97 seconds. The crowd in Manchester, who thought they'd seen a historic performance, groaned as Asher-Smith's time was corrected, said BBC Sport. Asher Phillip followed her home with 11.6 to also book her place at the Olympics. Holly Bradshaw broke the British pole vault record, clearing 4.9 metres. That performance trumps Bradshaw's 4.87 vault from the January 2012 and takes it the third in the global 2021 standings. In the men's equivalent, Zahal Hughes qualified in a fastest time of 10.5 seconds, with 24-year-old Jonah Efelu 10.3 and CJ Uja 10.56. Rhys Prescott and Eugene Amodaze both 10.64, also making sure of their place in the next round. There were some high-profile casualties in the 400-metre heats, in which Nicholas Baker, British silver medals last year, went fastest. Rio 2016 medalist Matt Hudson-Smith pulled up with an injury early on the heat and without Olympic qualifying time will not make Tokyo. Two-time Olympic champion Matty Rooney trailed home in his heat in 49.3 seconds, given an emotional on-track interview after suggested that might be his final race. In the women's 400-metre hurdles, Jessica Knight, Jessie Turner and Leah Nielsen and Megan Beasley won their heats to advance to the integral finals that were held on Saturday. American sprinter Gabrielle Thomas became the fastest woman since Florence Griffith joined her over 200 metres when she won the Olympic trials in 21.61 seconds. The 21-year-old's time is still more than a quarter of a second outside the late Griffiths joiner's world record, but is the third fastest 200 metres ever run. 9-time Olympic medalist Alison Felix, who had qualified for Tokyo in the 400, came up short in the 200, finishing 5th in her US trials event, 17 years after she made her Olympic debut. Also at the trials in Oregon, Grant Holloway missed the 110 metres hurdles world record by just 1/100th of a second. The world champion, who holds the indoor 60 metres hurdles world record, won the final in 12.9 seconds. But in the semi-final, he finished 100th of a second outside Aarhus Merit's 2020 world record of 12.8 seconds. At this point, the world record is definitely possible, Holloway said. A lot of people said I could never run 12.9 again. I'm just continuing to figure out ways to get it better, he said. In the men's 400-metre hurdles, Raya Benjamin won the final in 46.83 seconds, just 500th of a second outside fellow American Kevin Young's world record, which stood since 1992. It hurts a little bit, but I was right there and I couldn't grab it. But it's more fuel for the fire, says Benjamin. Sidi Uja won the men's 100 metres in a commanding style, carrying the victory in 10.05 seconds to confirm his place in the Olympic team after Zahal Hughes, quickest in the semis, was disqualified for a full start. Hughes ran 10.606 seconds in the final, checking over both his shoulders as he eased to 100th of a second outside the Olympic qualifying standard he lacks. There is a chance that the performance may yet be good enough to take him to Tokyo, but he's at the whim of the selectors and performers elsewhere in the world. Rhys Prescott, the fourth fastest Briton of all time, is now finding his way back to form after tearing a hamstring in 2019 and finished 5th with 10.33 seconds. Sad news though, Qatari sprinter Abdelhaya Horam, who won bronze in the 400 metres at the 2070 World Cup Championships in London, has died in a car crash. Qatar Athletics Federation Chairman Mohammed Isla Al Faldala said Horan was killed in an incident in Doha. Haran, who also won silver medal at the World Indoor Championships in 2016 and the gold at the Asian Games in 2028. Qatar sports and athletes on a global level.
And that was Dave the Arrow Harrison there with the athletics update. Unfortunately, it's cut off a little bit early, so I don't know what's gone wrong there. A bit of a technical problem, unfortunately. But there we go. That's the world of Channel 69 news. To tennis. And the Queen's Club final was between Matteo Berrettini and Cameron Norrie. Matteo was fantastic. He won it 6-4, 7-6, 6-3, losing the second set. And the reason why he won it is very clear in the stats. He's 91% first serve win percentage. That is incredible. So if you get your first serve in, which he did 76% of the time, he won 91% of those points. And that was the clear outstanding statistic of the game. He won it very comfortably. And congratulations to him. A great performance just before Wimbledon around the corner, as we know, starts today. This is Monday, so Wimbledon starts. And a little bit of news for Wimbledon is Andy Murray has been given a wild card to play in Wimbledon this year. Not sure what his form's been like or what his preparation's been like, but that's a major boost for Andy Murray. And I know he'll be very excited to get back on that hollow turf of Wimbledon and put in performance that the fans want to see. Now we'll go on to the weather. So over to you, Brit.
Hi everyone, it's Brit Fogland here with your weather for the week. As you can see, I've got cartography chaos behind me here. We've got a busy week of sports, so let's get on with it. It's a first serving for Wimbledon on Monday tomorrow. Typical Wimbledon weather. So there's rain clouds over Wimbledon tomorrow. We've got Andy Murray and Serena Williams on wildcards this year with everything that's been happening. And then obviously Djokovic, he's going to be playing for the men's singles title. And if he wins this one, it'll take him level with Nadal and Feds for the Grand Slam men's titles. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we need to start thinking about PIMS now. So you need to get your PIMS going. Get the jugs out. Ices, slices, the mint, cucumber as well. I like cucumber in there. And then your lemonade, your Schweppes, and your PIMS, and you're sorted. And obviously it's a gateway drink, so you need to sort of be quite canny with it. And it is Monday, obviously, so a lot of you will be working, so I can't advocate having PIMS when you're working. In fact, I'd recommend you don't. And then we've got the Euros, Croatia versus Spain. That's at 5 p.m. at the Park Inn in Osterburg, Denmark. Lovely evening, lovely day in Denmark tomorrow. Sunshine over Denmark. And then the later game is the France versus Switzerland game at 8 p.m. That's at the National Arena in Bucharest, Romania. Sunny clouds and warm in Romania. What else have we got for you tomorrow? Oh yeah, we've got the Copa America. We've got Uruguay versus Paraguay at the Estadio Nilton Santos, and that's in Rio de Janeiro. And it's light rain and quite cool, 22 degrees. For Rio, that's not that warm, is it? And then the later game is the Bolivia versus Argentina game at the Arena Pantanal in Cuiabá, Brazil. And that is a little bit further inland, and it's going to be cloudy and 16. You wouldn't think that it would get down to 16 in Brazil, would you? But it does indeed. And then Tuesday, we've got the men's and ladies singles, that first round continuing at Wimbledon. Not much improvement in the weather, I'm afraid, for Tuesday. Some cricket happening. The 3 ODI series is England versus Sri Lanka at the Riverside Ground in Chesterley Street in sunny Sunderland. So Sunderland has got a big smiley, sunshiny face over it for Tuesday. And then we've got the West Indies versus South Africa at the National Cricket Stadium in Grenada. Light rain, high of 30, low of 24 in Granada. Euros then, England versus Germany, a really big game on Tuesday, and that's at tea time, so you'll be rushing home or rushing away from the desk for that one at 5 o'clock. And that's at Wembley. The Wimbledon weather continues, as I said earlier. And then Sweden versus Ukraine, that's the later game, and that's in St. Petersburg, and that's going to be a sunny evening, 18 degrees in St. Petersburg. I put a thermometer on it, 18 degrees, it's not exactly going to, it's not the mercury rising, is it? And then Wednesday, Wimbledon this time, we get the doubles on the go. Really good. I love a bit of the doubles. That's men's and women's starting round of 64. Sunny clouds, it's drying up. Only 54% chance of rain on Wednesday for Wimbledon. And then the golf, that big green egg open is happening at the Rosendaalsch Golf Club in Arnhem, Netherlands. So sunny showers, 41% chance of rain, and that's got a rainbow over Holland for Wednesday for that one, the ladies, European Ladies Tour. That's it for Wednesday. Not much happening other than Wimbledon and that ladies golf. And then on Thursday, the men's and women's singles and doubles continue at Wimbledon, and it's drying up. Finally, we're getting a little bit more of a dry outlook for Wimbledon for Thursday. And then the England-Sri Lanka game for the 3 ODI series moves over to the Oval. So good time for the cricket in Vauxhall, the Oval, light rain. But, the saying is 26% chance of rain. So, I mean, what? 2020 cricket continues in Granada. Sunny showers, hot again. Here we are. And then golf, loads and loads of golf happening towards the end of this week. So the Irish Open, that starts in Mount Juliet in Kilkenny. Beautiful Emerald Isle, Kilkenny. It's breezy too, a 16-mile-per-hour wind. I think that's quite breezy for golf. I'm not really sure. Anyway, and the rest of it is just going to be overcast. But it's going to be warm. There's not going to be it's not going to be a cold breeze or anything like that. And then the Volunteers of America Classic, that's at the Old American Golf Club, and that's at the Colony in Texas. Cloudy and humid, as you'd expect, for the golf in the Gulf. And then we've got the Rocket Mortgage Classic, that's in Detroit. Having a golf tournament this week. Sunny showers, 54% chance of being warm. And then the Big Green Egg continues, showdy in the Netherlands. And then some athletics for you on Thursday as well. So the Diamond League Athletics is at the Bislett Stadium in Oslo, Norway. And sunny and a nice day in Norway for the athletics. And then rugby, we've got the Cardiff are hosting round 3 this time of the under-20 Six Nations. So 3 games for you: England versus Scotland, Italy versus France, and Wales versus Ireland. 3 games, a cloudy day, but I think it's going to stay dry on Thursday for the rugger. Friday, Wimbledon. Men's and ladies singles again, the doubles, and then we've got the mixed doubles as well on Friday. That should be good. Overcast, it's going to be dry though and warm, 24. You might actually need a little bit of sun cream for your Wimbledon joint. Yeah, your Wimbledon joint. Your Wimbledon jaunt on Friday. Okay, and then the golf, we continue with the tournament in Kilkenny. Overcast and breezy, we're not going to get much improvement on Friday for that Irish tournament. And then the Volunteers of America in Texas, cloudy and humid again, 50% chance of rain. The Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit, again cloudy, 50% chance of rain. And then the Big Green Egg Open, I think that's finishing up on Friday, that European Ladies Tour in the Netherlands. Cloudy, but it's drier, so that rainbow is going to be a sun. There we are. And then some more football on Friday, yeah. So we got the 2 quarterfinals happening. Obviously, there's to be announced for that. We'll see what the outcome of those games earlier in the week are. And then we've got the Copa America, the quarterfinal, 1 quarterfinal to be announced, and then the other one is going to be Brazil versus AN Other, and that's going to be at the Estadio Olímpico in Goiânia in Brazil, obviously, and that is here. Yeah, it's here, right in the middle. And it's going to be sunny, 25 degrees, but it gets down to 12. As I said, you know, Brazil, it gets cooler at this time of year. Okay, so that's Friday then. Into the weekend then, lots and lots of Wimbledon. 3rd round men's and ladies, 2nd round men's and ladies doubles. We've got the mixed doubles, and then we get the juniors coming in as well on Saturday. Sunny clouds, 20% chance of rain, so it really is going to be Pims. On Saturday, big pimsing, 24 degrees, low of 15. So Murray Mount is just going to be social distance, so it's going to be like 2 people that side, and then round the front. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do about that. I have no idea. We'll see how it works. And then the cricket, we've got the 2020 West Indies versus South Africa in Grenada. Golf, we continue in Ireland. I'm afraid it's not going to get any less showdy or breezy on the Emerald Isle for that golf on Saturday. We've got continuing the golf in Texas, again, the golf weather. And then the Rocket Mortgage Classic, Detroit, cloudy, so it's drier there in Detroit. And then the Big Green Egg Open, that European Ladies Tour, is continuing in the Netherlands. Showdy. Oh no, so we've got to go back to... It's very changeable in Holland. So that's that. And then rugby. So we've got the Egg Ball game happening on Saturday. The Lions versus British and Irish Lions. It's very confusing. There's a lot of Lions, and it's actually called the Lions Tour. So I guess you can't be in it unless you're Lions. And that's at the Emirates Airline Park down at the Docklands. You can do the I was going to say granola, but it's not. It's a gondola. A gondola. I've never been on it. I mean, I actually go skiing and snowboarding, and you'd think I know what a gondola was, wouldn't you? You'd think that would be on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so sunny clouds, 20% chance of rain, so it's going to be a really nice day for the sport on Saturday all round, really, other than Holland. And then Copa America again in the evening, if you're still up for that one. Quarterfinals, obviously to be announced, be somewhere in Brazil. Sunday, 3 ODI series for cricket, England versus Sri Lanka at the Bristol County Ground. Sunny, sorry, it's not sunny, I do beg your pardon. It's actually going to be cloudy in Bristol on Sunday, 33% chance of rain, so it'll be a reasonable kind of day. And then the golf, that Mortgage Classic in Detroit, humid still. Kilkenny, I'm afraid no improvement in Kilkenny. There's about a 50% chance of rain, and it's still going to be breezy. And then that tournament in Texas, humid still, 30-degree high on that. And then the rugby, the Summer International, England versus USA at Twickers. So a cloudy day in Twickers, but it'll be dry, 24-degree high, 16 low. And then we've got some more athletics, another meet on Sunday at the Olympic Stadium in Stockholm, Sweden. A sunny day for the Olympics. So belting around the track underneath that beating sun on Sunday. And then not to mention, we've got the second of the Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and that one's called the Grosser Prix von Österreich. and that's in Spielberg, Austria, as it was last week. And again, it's going to be the same conditions, cloudy but dry, 24-degree high, so I think a little bit warmer in Austria. So that warmth really affects it, doesn't it? 'Cause it's a technological sport. So that's it, guys. That's me done for another week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that map has added to the the experience, obviously, for our radio pals, because I think this is going to be streamed on the radio as well now. For our radio pals, I'm really sorry that you couldn't see this absolutely massive map that I'm pointing to, but hopefully I've given you enough sounds that you can make out what's happening this week for the sporting weather. So guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and I hope I'm going to see you all again next week for more stickers map mayhem. Thank you. So it's back to you, Daniels. Over and out.
Fantastic from Brit Fogland. I think she's been on the Pims herself, the way she was talking and laughing through most of that. But there we go. Brilliant update. So that's the Channel 69 news in a week. Just to remind you, the top stories were England and Wales qualified and Scotland went home, but obviously Wales have also been knocked out since then. England men's cricket whitewash Sri Lanka in the Prix series T20. Cricket, fantastic display from England, and Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix again. Lewis Hamilton finishing second. So remember, guys, always at Channel 69 News, it's always, I don't know if I should say it, but we're always eating out to help out in this channel. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I've been Jack Daniels. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Thank you.